Superstructure. We are going to take off superstructure. So we know that QS we start from underside of the we start with a substructure which is called the foundation. So first I'm going to explain the theory part behind these calculations, behind everything. And then after that I want to show you the relationship between. This is what we're going to talk about. Superstructure. I'll mark my markers are bad, so I must find new ones. Okay. So, substructure. Let me talk about okay, so let's talk about superstructure. Structure. And then we're going to talk about substructure, which is a foundation. Substructure, which is a foundation. So now these two they relate. So we start with the foundation, we go for superstructure, we're gonna go for roof next time if we get a chance to go live. So now there's these things called okay, what is a foundation or substructure? It's underside structure that you're going to support the superstructure, because the building, everything that you see, whatever that is here, it's underground level. Whatever that is here, it's what you see, like the walls that you're seeing there in my around your house, the floors, the tiles, and the stuff. So those are the things. Now, under substructure, we have both of these. We need to know the measuring list. Measuring list. Now, back then, this measuring list, it was requested 100%, but now you hardly, the possibility not to get it, it's there, but you need to know it. Let's talk about measuring list, which is called checklist. A checklist or measuring list, these are the list of things that you need to follow when you are doing your takeoff or when you are busy building in a construction site. Now, when we talk about a substructure itself, Karen, so since you are in construction site, there's things that you need to answer which are generally, some are not by the book, but yeah, generally. So we are still on a substructure. And so we are not talking about superstructure now, right? Yes. I'm just giving you a background of that. Now, you bought a land, Karen, and so Karen, you bought a land. Here's the land. Before you can, you see that there's a lot of trees and stuff. What is it? Step number one. What is it that you can do before you can start building? Clear the site. Good. You see? By the way, Karen, I've never done QS before, but look at how she's gonna enjoy this. This is gonna be a very simple class and interesting. Number one that is coming to your mind is clear the site, which is called side clearance. Ne? Why are you cleaning the site? That is called a description, by the way. Why are you cleaning the site? I'm not going to write them. By the way, this is an area. It's measured in square meters. You are cleaning the site to prepare the work, isn't it? Yes. When you go by the book, so I know there's that mentality in a class whereby you have to cram that description from the book where it say clean the site, remove all what the debris, trees, whatever. You know that description from the textbook. Yes. You show your understanding behind that. Now, number two, now the site is clean. What can you do now, so? Collection. No, this is part of collection. No. I'm not talking about calculating. Now we are talking about the work that you need to do on site. Excavation. Yes, you excavate. You excavate. What are you excavating? You are excavating a trench. Because the excavation is different. You can be excavating a hole, you can be excavating a trench. So now that is a cubic meters. You understand? According to the standard system, that has a restriction. When you excavate this trench, it must not exceed 2 meters deep from the ground level. Ne?
Yes. Okay.
Good. That is a restriction, by the way. Number 3, when you go for number 3, what is it that you can do? We're not going to dwell much on a superstructure, on a substructure, by the way. So now this is what you have. Now that Karen is on a construction site, you are aware. You know how to read the drawing, eh?
How to?
Not really.
Not perfectly.
Not really. So this is a sectional view. It's a sectional view that comes from this. So tell me if you understand. When we dig up, let me try to draw in 3D. So when we dig up our foundation or trench, it looks like this. Whereby this side it has undisturbed, we have undisturbed soil, undisturbed soil, undisturbed soil here. Eh? So when we dig up here, going down, isn't it? Now that is being cut here. Let's say number the example they say AA. When they say AA, when they cut that part, this is what you see. You're focusing. You are in this direction, facing this way. This is the shape that you're gonna see. This is undisturbed soil. This is undisturbed soil.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
So
Yes, I.
good, good. You love this. This thing is easy. Now that you have a trench like this, there's a rule that must be prevented. So my question is, now this soil is here, this undisturbed soil. Let's say so when you come here and stand here and you play around here, what's going to happen to this undisturbed soil?
Sorry?
You are standing here, Kerim,
Yes.
on the edge. And let's say you're standing there, what is the possibility of this soil?
Possibility. The undisturbed one.
Yes. Okay, now you're standing here on the edge. What's going to happen to this soil here? It might collapse.
Go down.
It's not going down, it might collapse. So we apply a rule for that not to collapse, you understand? It's called the risk of collapse.
Okay.
It's called that risk of collapse that is measured in square meters. How do they do that? Like around, if you did N3, so you will remember something like this, whereby they put planks around it to support this soil, or like that, on both sides. Ne?
Yes.
Good. Now, what's going to happen when it rains? So before we start building, if it rains,
When it rains,
yeah, if
they
it
like
rains,
to get inside of the trench,
What?
so there will be cause of risk of water.
so it's like that we prevent the water from entering here. That's what's the risk of water. You understand?
Yes, that is an item.
Good. Oh, you don't know that one. Now we are done. Everything well is fine. We can start like now. We cast the concrete. You familiar with this one, Karen?
Yeah, the casting of concrete, yes.
That is just a concrete. Just a concrete. I must buy my cars. These ones are finishing up. Eh? I must buy my cars before. Yeah. I must buy my cars. I see these ones are running out. Okay. We have risk of, that is a concrete which is cubic meters. That is an item. This is an item. So now we need to know also the strength of the concrete. Sometimes in the specifications we find that they say 15 MPa or 20 MPa. That is the strength. The strength of what? Of the concrete. Ne?
Yeah.
That's what we need to know. I'm sure, Karen, this is not the first time to come across this word of MPA, ne?
Yeah, in the slum.
Good. Number 6. Now the concrete discussed that what can we do? We build the what? Foundation wall. That is a brick wall. We can say a brick wall. But it's a foundation wall. From underside, we're talking about ground floor down. So it's square meters. This requires a center line. A center line is the main perimeter Ne? What else that requires a center? Excavation requires a center line. Risk of collapse requires center line. I will teach about center line next time. Risk of water tonight. So all these require a center line. After that, this is a brick wall that we have built. What is happening to this space, Karen?
Pour concrete again.
It's not a concrete, it's a soil. We backfill.
Oh, yeah.
This soil that is here, the one that you took inside, taking out, that coming back, you fill here. You understand? Now it is a cubic meters that requires a center line. We have number 8. Number 8 is called this one a cutaway surplus materials. Are you familiar with this word, cutaway?
No, sir.
So now, cutaway, it has two stages. Two stages. Two stages. Why am I saying that? A cutaway, I prefer to say it's a volume that is replaced by a soil that is replaced by items. So now you see where there's a concrete, we have casted the concrete here. Ne? There was a soil here before the concrete, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, where there's a brick wall, there was a soil here, isn't it? That space, that volume.
Yes.
So the soil is only remained here on the back field. So you see what I'm saying is measure these two stages.
Yes.
Stage number 1, stage number 2. Stage number 1 is a copy and paste of that.
Okay.
So far so good. So far so good. Good.
Yes.
Now when we go for number 9, now we have built a brick wall. What do? You go to, there's this thing called hardcore. Hardcore is a compacted soil, ne? Before the structural flow. Hardcore layer, which is cubic meters. You see, when after when in the house, they come with the rubbles and stuff, then they steep the soil that to be level and strong, ne? That is hardcore. Number 10, what do? There's this thing called the DPM. Are you familiar with the damp-proof membrane, Karen? A damp-proof membrane, you see when they are building a slab, they're erecting a slab. That huge plastic that covers the whole surface before casting the concrete.
Yeah.
So are you familiar with that plastic?
Yes.
That is a DPM. So yeah, that is a DPM. Now in number 11, we have facings. This is like a paint and the plastering. So this is we know that is a paint or plastering. But here there's a rule that says include 2 courses below ground level. Ne? To prevent moisture. Are we okay with the word foundation? That is actually a summary of a foundation. Ne? You see where we're stopping? We're stopping here. We stopped it just here on a what? On a DPM. We are continuing to superstructure for better. We're done with the foundation explanation. Now we go for superstructure. What is it that is starting now? So is going to communicate with us because he's the one who's going to write, but I'm breaking it down. Now, item number 1, when you are measuring the checklist, what is it that comes first? Number 1, solo.
Superstructure.
No, yeah, in superstructure, we are measuring the superstructure, and now we need to do what?
Center line.
No. Center line is not a checklist. Center line is the calculation.
One center line for the whole plate. Beyond the whole plate.
Hey, I'm saying center line is a calculation. It's not an item. It's not something that you're going to do on site. Remember, on site you are building. You're not calculating. So I'm just. You must have the understanding, like generally why. Generally, then I'm going to come to the calculations. I'll tell you. Don't worry.
Okay.
What is it that you have to do? You have this thing called. Okay, fine. This was your. I can erase this side now, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, this is what we have. Look, we had a concrete, and then we built a brick wall like that. Normally, it's something like this. Then there's a hardcore, and then we stopped here just there by the DPM. Now, because you see, this is a brick wall which is 330. Now this is 220. From the 220, we're gonna put what this called DPC. That is a point number one. A DPC. What is a DPC? A DPC is a dam-proof course. What is a DPM? Is a dam-proof membrane. Remember, so to know the abbreviations in order for you to write them in full and the units, because it's part of the questions. Now that we have built what do you call it? I would say generally I will start with DPC, then after that I'll come to myself. I'll come to a brick wall, a superstructure wall. A superstructure wall, because also there's a concrete surface bed that has to be casted here. Concrete surface bed. This is a concrete surface bed. No, but in the book though, there's DPC in the concrete. I prefer to start with a brick, because you put a DPC and then you build a brick wall. Because the concrete, this thing, it's attached, it's starting just in front of the brick wall. But there's no logic for that. Concrete surface bed, or you can say just surface bed. So this is the floor before they put the tiles or the screed. You understand, Karen? Are you still there, people?
Yeah. Yes.
Good. Now, and remember, this is measured in square meters, and this is square meters, and this is a cubic meters because the concrete. Number 4, what is it that we have to do after that? Because we have built a brick wall and we have a concrete. We have these things called facings. So we have facings. I'll write facings. When we talk about facings, it's divided into two. We have external facings. We're plastering outside external facings. You can write there in brackets such as a plastering so that you can remember, or painting. Eh? And then we have internal facings. Just for you to remember. So, when you talk about facings, it's 2 items. External and internal. Are you good?
Yes.
Good. Now after that we have what? This called what? Finishings. Finishings. Finishings, we are talking about floor things. Floor finishings. Floor finishings can be what? Our floor can be finished with what? With tiles, or it's a screed. Or it's a screed. You understand? You know what is a screed?
Yes. No.
A screed, I get no on the floor. In our houses, it's either it's tiles on the floor, or okay, that smooth thing, the same, that thing. You see that thing? What? I don't know how can I call it. But you said what? Come on, say it slowly.
I didn't hear you properly saying. That's why I'm trying to get to you. What you saying?
I said just.
I'm saying you asked
I said screed.
Oh,
SCREED.
no, I'm not familiar with it.
What are you familiar with? Because you were saying something.
No, I didn't hear you properly.
Nah.
That's why
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I was.
It's okay. Then on the floor, let's say we are talking about tiles. After tiles, there's this other thing called skating. You see around your house, there's this other plank that is small plank that is going all around the perimeter of the house. That small plank or by the wall, ne?
Okay.
And then after that, after skating, what do? We're going to put a ceiling, ne? We are familiar with ceiling, all of us. So after ceiling, we put a cornice. That is, then we are done with our checklist for that. These are the things that you must write, ne? Same calculations. So I'm gonna say items with same quantities so that you can understand quantities, ne? Quantities I'm talking about calculations. When you check, I will start with ceiling. The floor area, ne? It's equals to what? The ceiling area. When you check on your room, you look at the floor, the space is the same as the one at the top, isn't it?
Yes.
And also you have to check skating. Skating is the same as a cornice. Do you know what is a cornice?
No.
A cornice, you see there by this on the ceiling.
Yes.
There's this other thing that goes around the ceiling and the wall. It's attached with the wall and the ceiling to close the gaps.
Oh yeah.
That is a cornice.
Yeah.
That is a cornice. Remember that is I'm talking about the areas here. Areas. So now what else can I do? This is not an area. This is meters. Sorry, the ceiling is area. This is meters. Meters. And also, this is also equals to the internal perimeter of the house, inside of the facings, ne? Plastering inside, and that's how it is. So, do you have any question before I can start with some calculations?
No.
Do you have a light already?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Let's go. Now we're going deep, and then it's fine. Let's go deep. Let's go deep. I will leave. That's fine. I'll draw a new one. I'm not gonna come with your measurements. Something that you have and so on. Eh? I just want you to understand. I don't want you to cram. So you come tomorrow. You will have something, a sketch or a formula. I mean, like the specifications. Let's say it has something like that, like this, and then you have hardcore. Normally, they are not interested with their foundation because our foundation, we end up here calculating our foundation. We're not interested on that. And then we have a surface bed. We have plaster, internal plaster. We have a floor, which is a ceiling. And we have a skating. And then outside we have external plastering. Ne? So we're measuring from where? Where are we measuring? From here, TPC. So now right in your, and then after that there's an internal part there, there's a ceiling, and there's a cornice there. So in your notes, just read, you measure from what? Now we're coming for superstructure now. We have a plan view. Let's say our plan view is this. Our plan view is this, which is given. Sometimes they can give you internal measurement, and this is internal measure, external. Let's say they say 6,000, and then external they say 3,000. So these are external measurement. Now the wall, you have to check the wall. This wall is given as what 330 foundation, and the superstructure wall is 220. These are the things that you must pay attention to. What are you calculating now? What are we calculating now? So Nsobo,
Hello, sir.
what are we calculating now? Is it a foundation or superstructure?
Superstructure.
So you identify the thickness of the wall. But if you are calculating a foundation, you will check the wall, because people, they make mistake when they calculate the center line. They use this thickness instead of this. Now, we are not interested in a foundation now. Our aim is what? It's a superstructure. So now we're going to start with there. We already have our checklist. What do we do? You're going to have your dimension line here, with dimension paper. That is your dimension paper. You're going to have your dimension paper. Now, so there are things that it's not always always the way whereby they say calculate what do you call this? Do the center line, do what. Now, the question paper can be like calculate the center line. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Or they say, if they say calculate, you calculate this all. So if the number one, calculate the center line, you're going to say, okay, let's say question number one without using the checklist. Question number one, you're going to say, your center line is that, your center line. But how do you calculate the center line? Karen, a center line is the main perimeter of the structure. That means we need to know the main perimeter of the structure. Ne?
Okay.
What is the formula? The formula is the one that you know from primary, whereby you're going to say the perimeter. By the way, a slash represents the multiplication in QS, isn't it? So it's 2.
Okay.
It's 2 by the length. What is the length? It's 6,000. What is and then you're going to say plus 2 by what? By 3,000. You know very well that in your calculator you're going to have something like this. This is what you calculate normally in mathematics, isn't it?
Yes.
What is the answer then? We are still calculating the main perimeter. What is the answer? So hurry up.
18,000.
18,000. Now we're going to have what? And 18,000. If we have 18,000, from that perimeter, you go to less 4. What is this 4 stand for? These are 4 corners of the structure. You understand?
Yes.
Multiplied by the thickness of this wall. What is the size of the wall?
Sorry?
What is the size of the wall?
3,000. Height.
The size, I'm talking about the thickness.
That's 6,000.
This is the length. This is the width. I didn't say what is the length or what is the width. I said what is the thickness. Thickness. Our wall, is it 330 wall or 220 wall?
220.
That is the thickness. The size of the brick, it's 220. That is the thing that you must identify first. Ne? Now you're going to put 220 here because the 220 is the thickness of the wall. So your calculation says the perimeter.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
now for say height.
Ask. It shall be given to you.
Nimamela mphato so.
I'm listening. You want to say something? Say it.
My network is not well. I want to switch the data.
No, hurry up.
So that.
Hey, hurry up. We are waiting. Karen, do you understand? Karen? Oh, these people. The network is bad, man. Karen,
Yes.
do you get a light? What are we dealing with here?
Yeah, I'm getting good.
I think it's easy. It's easy. Oh, this one is back or what? So, you are fine now. Good. My question was, so how do you calculate the center line yourself from what you've been taught? Because you've been singing about center line from start.
Center line is you get the center line on the plane view.
Huh? Yes, I'm listening. Yes.
And center line always is measured in meters squared, which is area.
That's
So
what they taught. That's what they taught you.
Yeah, that it measured in meters squared.
Center line is the answer. Like it's millimeters or meters. There's no such a thing as like you don't measure a center line. You calculate. I will show you the difference of measuring and calculating.
Okay, fine.
You talked about collection. That is a collection that we are doing. You are collecting everything that you're going to use when you are measuring or calculating or taking off. So now the rule says when you go to the center line, it's a perimeter. Write it the other thing. I think you want the primary things, the lessons. The formula for center line is a perimeter minus 4 sides. This is the sides, ne?
Yes.
Or corners by the thickness of the wall. The thickness of the wall. So my question again, I said we calculated the perimeter. This is a perimeter, isn't it?
Yes.
Minus that perimeter, we're going to less 4 by the thickness. What is the thickness of the wall? What is the thickness of the wall?
17,120.
What is the thickness, the size of the wall, the brick? Is it 220 or 330? Don't be too quick to answer.
Sorry, say 220.
Good. Now, so if it's 220, what is the answer now? Because you have less the 18,000 from that. I think the answer, I don't know what is the answer. What is it? I don't want to punch it by the head.
17,120.
Sorry?
17,120.
17,120. Good. That is the center line. Let's say they calculate this question say calculate the center line. If they say take off the superstructure, you list your things that you need to calculate, you list your checklist. Ne? You understand? Good. Now, after listing now you start measuring. Now, when they say measure or take off, this is what you do. After center line, they say what? The question say measure the DPC, the improvement cost. What do? You're going to say, you open brackets like this. You're going to say DPC under what? Under 220 millimeters brick wall. Because the DPC is that black plastic that looks like a toilet paper. It goes underside the brick wall before they put the layer, isn't it? Are you familiar with that? Since it's going all around like under the brick wall, you're just going to take the center line, which is 17,120. What is the thickness of the wall? It goes underside of the brick wall, which is 220. You get it?
Yes.
Good. Okay, fine. Yeah, let me just do the height of the brick wall. Hey, this side. Okay, let's see. The height is. How can I write this? The height is 18,000. And then we have 75 of the hardcore. 75 of the hardcore.
What?
No, I'm just adding some measurement. Don't worry. I'm just adding some measurement. Ne? Now, we go to now. And now, question number 2, it says, again we are going according to the questions. I'm just giving you the difference. When this part, here we were measuring or we were taking off, ne? That's how you measure. You understand? You wanted to say something, you said say sorry. I disturbed you.
I can't see. Is it 1850 there?
No, it's 1800.
Oh.
So, and then the height of the surface bed is 75. No, so you understand? When they calculate, the question say calculate, you calculate. When they say measure, you measure. You understand? Now, if the question again, they say calculate the height of what? Of the brick wall, you calculate, I need to know the total of the height, the total height of that. So now, I'm going to say, measure the brick wall. When you measure the brick wall, this is the DPSUI. When you measure the brick wall, you're going to say, 220 millimeters brick wall. What is it? Is it built in what structure bond stuff like that? But that brick wall, you need to know the height. What is the total height of that brick wall? It's 1.8 plus what? Plus 75 of the hardcore, which is, what is the answer? I think it's 1875, ne? That is the height of the brick wall, because starting from here, below the ceiling, goes down to here, below the surface bed. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Did I give you a very, I mean, like, are you lost or you, Karen, are you okay? I know Karen, but are you okay, Karen? You know what I'm talking about here?